Good morning, everybody. I am happy to report that I am mouse free. So I'm being a little bit quiet because I am surrounded by tent campers. But let me tell you what's been going on. The last you guys knew, that mouse or mice, there were many of them, big ones, small ones, running back and forth, were coming in and out of the house and in and out. Is it ever gonna leave? Leave! So the first thing I did was I went to Home Depot and I got these Tomcat traps and spray. Okay, I have officially had it. I have given this mouse or these mice every chance to get out of here, and I cannot have night 4 without sleep. So they're about to get murdered. Got to do it. So I got some mouse traps to get rid of them, and then I think I'm going to have all the lights. I got rodent repellent spray. I've used this before. It worked pretty well. I'm going to put it all up around the engine, the doors, the back, the side door, everything outside, hoping to repel it. I think the trick is not to let them in the first place. I put peanut butter in the traps. They did not work. So I left this little bag of trash by the door while I ran into the store. Sure enough, came back about 10 minutes later, and the mouse is obviously still in here. They tripped, but they did not work. Then one of my neighbors gave me one of these traps with jaws, and those did work. Okay, night 4. I don't even know what time it is. All I know is I was up here sleeping, and it sounded like a stack of dishes fell on the floor. There was this massive crack. It took me a second, and then I realized that the trap went off down there. Now, I have 3 traps down there. Oh my God, did you hear that? There's another one. Okay, what I was going to tell you guys is, I know that the trap caught one, and I think it's just the one with the jaws, and I don't even want to go down there, because when I turn the light on, then I have to deal with the dead mouse and the guts, because it's got this claw thing. And I just wanted to commiserate with you before I have to go down there and clean it up. And then while I'm talking to you, the motion sensor that I have up in the cab went off, which means there's another one in here. So those were all set up, but it still wasn't working. So then I went to get my oil changed, and I said to the dude, hey, look out, there might be a mouse in there, and could you double check the wires for me? And he said, yeah, those ProMasters are notorious for having mice because there's a little gap next to the air filter where they can run inside. And I said, is there a way for me to block that? And he said, no, that gap needs to be there. Well, I got down on my hands and knees and looked everywhere, and I found that there was a tunnel leading from the brake pedal into the cab. Then I decided it was all out war.
Again we draw the straws to see who it goes for the cheese. Manuel, he win. He got the short straw.
He's a lucky fellow. We'll hold your sombrero for you, Manuel. What with Pedro?
A while ago, I got a new camping mat that's solar powered, so it has these nice little lights that go around the edge. And it also has a function where they flash. Well, I remember when I was first on the road and I would see all these people with flashing lights underneath their rigs. And I would be like, are they having a rave over there? And I didn't love it because I like to look at the stars at night. And I had absolutely given up at this point. So the first thing I did was I put out the mat with the flashing lights. Then I opened up my hood because they don't feel comfortable with the hood open. And I took out my red alarm sensors that are motion sensors that are solar charged, and I put them underneath the rig next to each tire. By the way, I've put together a list of all of these things: the jaws that worked, the mat, the traps, the spray, everything. So if you're having this problem, if you want to get the same stuff, you can. I will link it below for you. So the hood was up. The mat was out. I put each of those red flashing lights underneath the engine on each side where the tire was. And I've got these little sensor gizmos that send out like an ultrasonic pulse that they don't like. And it has these little lights in the eyes of this cat that light up. Then I put a motion sensor light where that brake pedal is. So if they did get through the mat and the outside lights and the sensor, they were going to get hit as soon as they came out of that tunnel with a bright light. And then if they got past that, there was one trap. And then if they got past that, there was two more traps. And then if they got past that, up onto my kitchen counter, there was another bright light that went off. And this time, if he makes a run for the kitchen counter, I'll see it. So I had a gauntlet out there. I'm making a big hot cup of you going down, mice. So far, so good. Not a peep. And not one light has gone off. So that all happened 2 weeks ago. And I have now been in 3 other camping locations. Again, you can see I'm in another forest. And I have not had any mice. I was in that first location where I had the mice for 3 or 4 more days. Not one came inside the house. So now I'm not worried about traps and sprays inside the house. I do the motion sensors. I put one under each front tire and one up in the cab by that tunnel. And they are not coming in. In fact, last night, because I'm near these tent campers and in just a place for one night, I didn't even put the ones outside by the tires. All I did was put the most blinding white one that I had right up next to the tunnel where they were getting in. And you guys, I have not had a problem. Because I can't block that gap next to the air filter, I know that I'm going to have to be vigilant from now on. But every night when I go to bed, I just put out the lights. And I don't think I'm going to have a problem again. So this worked for me. If you guys have a problem, try it. Otherwise, if you have like a trailer, like the fifth wheel, or a truck camper like I did, I had mice in both of those rigs too, but I was able to use the little gap filler. I'll also put that on the list. That worked great. But, you know, if you have a van or an all-in-one, look out because they can come through your engine. Okay, I'm about to go do something really fun with another Nomad friend. And so if it ends up being as rad as I think it's going to be, I'll show it to you guys soon. Until then, everybody have happy travels and be free.